as an authentic self, you get to have a relationship with the lovely one divine feminine of you, but also the divine masculine. And so, this is why being yourself, now that I am attachment trauma informed, I can go in depth on the technical aspects, if you will, of what the disowned self is for anybody who comes on over and has disowned parts that they are going to be aware of, because we get to talk about it. For the one-to-one mentorship, there's an interview process. We get to see where you're at with radically accepting yourself. Where is it that you need direction on emotional awareness and mental awareness, and how easy is it for you to think and feel? Because the part about feeling is quite important. Divine feminines, and I'm a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, by the way. And so Enlightenment is a different soul age group than the spirituality and the relationship and the societal. Now, the spiritual awakening guidance journey, anyone who's into being with our 5D collective, it is integration of the brain. So this would mean, AKA, I'm just going to give you an example, you wanting to be a Pacha, like in the Cusco and Emperor's New Groove story. So it means everything Pacha does. He continues to help Cusco and he welcomes Cusco. That's a functional adult, so human language terms. Okay, and when we walk people, the donkey and the well, we cannot make people drink the water. Okay, so what I'm saying is attachment trauma, straightforward. I'm also a Reiki master. I'm an Akashic record reader, so Akashic intelligence. There's a direct relationship that a 5D mystic will have. It's about expanding your consciousness to the infinite higher human conscious potential if you want. Curiosity involves your truth, but the truth is that your thoughts and emotions are not irrefutable facts, that they are part of the self and your journey to not only self-forgiveness, but also forgiveness of others. I got to learn all about this from Jesus and God, by the way. And so maintaining my heart body and value body, my emotional, physical, and mental was not hard, or my energetic. I'm a whole 3-year-old. That's why as a 3-year-old, my 3-year-old self was differentiated already. That means my thoughts, my emotions, the comment or the word was used in one of my questions when I asked Daniel Siegel in my courses about a couple of things. And he shared, because I told him a story about me as a 3-year-old telling my mother, you cannot spank me, it's my body. And then after she was done giving me the spanking, I went to make my suitcase to leave. And he said, wow, that's really great, Maria. We're already a differentiated self. And in fact, all my child parts are right here, and I get to tend to my own nervous system. So self-regulation is not a genius's job, but it is something that you do want to do. Otherwise, you won't. So being yourself involves you being your solo self, the narrative self, the relational self, the core self, and in a way that lives. True spirituality is a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. So authentic selves are what we get to do. And while I didn't know how to explain how to get there, if you will, now I know how to, and also how many people reject. And so you walk them to the well and they don't hear because they won't reconcile, because they got a Zen master talks to them about laundry in the body. So you got people who go to therapy, it's sacred, and then they get out and I don't want to do personal development. I want life to start now. So they don't know about continuing on the path to compassion. And so curiosity, by the way, that's our Krishna Lila, is what I call it. So once you know how to master your own nervous system by being able to do the inner growth mindset, it's my thoughts and feelings and my everything, not truths, something mine. I get to be curious about it. And I get to explore it with grace and generosity, not say, I don't want to do it, I want life now. And that's how you continue to activate your social engagement system. And so for some, they expand a window of tolerance. Eventually it becomes a window of welcome. And again, if you're a divine feminine, a 5D mystic, I can tell you all about how that works. For those who have clairs, you don't lose your compass though. If you do, then we want to get first back to that compass. Otherwise, there's a 4D bandwidth for that. And they don't rise above the fray because they also don't know about Patrick McNamara. He's a neuroscientist who proves there's no demon when a person's having nightmares. So mystic here, again, astral travel, Akashic record readings, past life regressions, I'm a Reiki master, everything that is within the spectrum. I don't use fancy words though. I don't go and get into the let me give you a list. We are creators. When you have an ego that doesn't do ego death, it's just, I have a name. My name's Maria. I love to be with people, and any person who comes my way, doesn't matter if they know how to make a decision or not, I will be able to make my own decision because I know where I'm headed. And that's because those of us who care, the divine feminine is doing this as we speak. And that's with this though. That is, I don't know everything, nor do you, nor does anyone. I can know what I know right now. And whenever a divine feminine is tapped into Akashic intelligence, we actively know it's the same as the word God that I learned when I was a kid and the love that Jesus taught me and brought me. It is the same as any of the peace that any person who was in their lifetime an actual leader brought. Anyone who wants to tell me that war is what brought anything, and I've had people make these argumentations because I am a person who has come from academia. I chose not to continue for a reason, as I chose a lot more. Why you are not here to belong, with these sentences call the attention of the very same mules that you can guide towards a well and that will not drink water, but they will drink Kool-Aid, because the fact that you are attracted to a sentence like that tells me that you are like the teenagers I met when I was a teenager. And here's what we would do. We'd be like, oh, we're not understood. Our family, they don't get it. They don't get it. I don't like my family. At a certain point, I'm like, I do love my family. It's okay that they don't get it. We live in quarters with each other all the time. It's normal that we have these assumptions or whatever. What is this? It sounds more like a little pity party going on. And so I'm a 44-year-old woman. What I see, women, men, and theys who are like their adolescent 12 to 24, who are still fearing their inadequacy, and therefore they want and they do get a silverback with their culty cult, traditional cult, and ethical cult leader. And you can tell which ones they are because they're all very, very much into those buzzwords. So when you want to be authentic, yourself, overflowing with humanity, if you're curious to go on an actual spirituality awakening journey, and I say actually because they're missing out. Again, spirituality, life of meaning and connection beyond the soul self, means you're a human herd. Human. You want to hug other humans, not the trees. Yes, we want to save the trees. We want to save the ecosystem because we're part of nature, but we don't have pedestals. See, this is the thing. The 5D collective, there's no pedestal. It's a ground floor. The only people who don't appreciate this are the same ones who say, why should I want to be myself? Why are you yourself? You need to change, Maria. You should change. Maybe you should. I've had people speak these words. Maybe you should change. I just told you I don't change and I want to be accepted for who I am. Wait, my ears need to recalibrate. But since all people that I've ever met so far, they have an issue with being their self. And no matter how I explain it to, again, you can walk a donkey, a mule, to the well. You cannot make them drink. And I learned from Stephen Porges what this is. It's called, they're in their safety behavior, Maria. And Terrio, thank you, come on in. Adaptive children, they don't hear you. Their ears are actively, when you're in your safety behavior, it means that you're not in your prefrontal cortex. It means that you're not absent of trauma charges. And trauma charges are not the same as big trust breaks or big trauma. We all have the child charged parts. I'm attachment trauma informed. If I can get the words out. Okay, so I don't have trauma charges because when my emotions come up, I will say, yeah, I'm emotional. If I'm sad, yeah, I'm sad right now. I'm mad, yes, I won't lie. See, a 3-year-old that doesn't lie, you'll know it. And people who get to know me and they're trusted, they know how to say, yep. And what you also learn, thank you, Stephen Porges, is you wear your heart on your face, not on your sleeve. So when you choose to be the authentic you, and I did make this choice as a teenager, I'm like, why would I lie? I'm not afraid to tell the truth. I'm doing what is right according to the law, according to school, according to whatever you're complaining about. It has nothing to do with me. And that's because the complaints are not about something that are ethics. No, it's actually, you didn't do what I wanted you to do, so now I'm going to complain about it and tell you that you're a bad friend. You're a bad friend because you didn't hear me the way I wanted to be heard. Wow, okay. That's interesting because friendship is I love you unconditionally for who you are, but then again, I'm a divine feminine who's an authentic self with my own divine masculine. That's why. And I learned from Jesus about turning that other cheek and being humble and that I was made just the way I wanted to be. No, that God made me, basically. And so here's again a 3-year old who's been told, don't worry, just be you. Just go and be respectful. Respectful doesn't mean to silence your own thoughts or feelings because you get taught it's okay to be you by a child centric household, thank goodness. Differentiation of the self means this. Now, I do know why I got lucky, besides my twin, my mother, meaning why I got sat down and talked and explained and explained and explained. That's because of the caregiver deciding to allow herself not to fear and because she has good patience with children. She still does. So, this is the part when you know that you're not here to belong, not like a teenager attitude. You'll know radical acceptance by saying, yes, I do belong here. I'm with humans. I want to be here. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Okay, so the people who want to actively be their divine feminine and their divine masculine, to be the spirituality embodiment of you, it involves your 0 1 year old attached panicky, your 3 to 7 shame submissive, your freeze of all ages, your flight to 11 12, and your fight 14 15 16. We can thank my teacher, Sue Martin, for teaching me about the charge states, and any person that I've ever mentioned these to knows of which ones come up. Now, this is step 2, learning how to manage it straightforward. And this is when the mules that you bring to the water and they don't drink the water, yeah, they say, well, no, Maria, you know what? Life's made of suffering. No, Maria, you know what? Humans suck. No, Maria, you know what? I have a right to be mean right now or upset because they're all assholes out there and I want to be upset. So whenever somebody gives me an excuse for why their emotions are not for them to tend to and regulate, so to become their own safe haven, it's the 0 1 year old, 3-year old, and 16-year old saying, nope, I'm special. I don't belong with all the other people. I stand out. Let me go put on my mantle today. Which group do you belong to, mantle? I belong to a group that does the suffering. Can I go over there? I want to whine some more about how much suffering I have to go through. Oh, look, there's my Zen master. Hey, Zen master, can you tell me more about the laundry and remind me of how many people don't ever do the enlightenment so you can say that that lady is a liar because I don't like her. I don't like that she's always happy. Hey, lady with avoidant attachment who decided not to go to therapy, can you tell me more about how the happy people are depressed for real and how everybody on YouTube wants to make money? Yeah. Can you keep telling me why you don't want to do that mindfulness and journalism stuff? What was it? Oh, people are what? Oh, they're fucked up. I see. Hey, yeah, I want over there. Okay, so that's what teenagers sounded like to me. And I noticed that I sounded like that too. And I'm like, I'm not going to complain. This is bullshit. Like with one of my journals, I have a journal. It said it's something about a place to vent about human stupidity. And I'm like, this is not really nice. But I mean, it's a good place to write things down. And that's where I wrote to God a lot and Jesus. And I noticed as I got to send, I'm like, hey, God, so guess what's going on today? Da, da, da. So it went from, hey, God, can you support me to have strength and to, okay, I'm going to let you know how the day's going to, wow, God, did you see that? Let's have fun. Are we going to have fun over here? So the relationship with Akashic Intelligence, by the way, Sadhguru. He is an amazing, amazing guru, by the way. You should take his 21-day challenge. I'm doing it right now. But I always love how a person who is not yet in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, they follow words, but they don't actively, how can I say this, embody understanding. So we're going to do a take 2. I'm going to conclude this one, and now I'm going to do Akashic Intelligence in a separate one. Come on over if you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. Again, we want to be nice, but at the same time, we want the mules that will drink the water, meaning being yourself, humanly speaking. Jesus taught it to us. Buddha taught it in a different way. Yoga doesn't bring demons out of you. And there's academics out there that are sharing with every one of us how to get home to our true self. So I'm already there, which is why we do inner growth here. The people who can do and want to do self-emotional awareness, regulation, all of it. Not the ones who want to go and say people are fucked up or any of that. Nope. Healthy self-worth. We don't need to keep a man. We don't need to keep a woman. They're not our pets. They're not our babies. We, in fact, don't want to baby. If there's babies, you choose to have babies that you can learn to be a secure attachment. In fact, healthy self-worth figure for, so you learn how to self-regulate. That means you don't do transgenerational trauma or cultural trauma because you've made sense of your own narrative. That's beautiful. That way we can support humanity to overflow in what is our mammalian heritage, and for all of us to have that divinity, which is not about a entity, please. It's Akashic intelligence. It's called restored embodiment self-awareness. It's a biochemistry of your oxytocin gene hormone. It's explainable by sciences, very broken down like a 5-year-old. Let me explain. And then we'll go. You have integrated brain right in front of you, restored embodiment. Daniel Siegel's explanation in my courses. Left and right mode are all hands on deck. Yes, check. Default mode network, not doing anything because we don't have fear of being Maria, 3-year-old, 1-year-old, all of it. So I'm not scanning self and others. I'm not doing Isaac or Abraham. Nope. I'm doing Jacob. I'm in my, in fact, prefrontal cortex. So my default mode network is down regulated, while the ones who have the facades that are drinking Kool-Aid right now, no matter what you tell them, they're still drinking Kool-Aid, their self and other scans. So that's a person who has shame, blame, fault, revenge, safety behavior on, check, and they are doing the inner dance of, I don't know if I'm doing a good job, not job, am I going to be accepted? So they have fear going on the whole time, under stress, but it's a teenager, so there's no child in there. There's just a teenager, unless they become aware of the teenager, and then they say, you know what, I can talk about this with this person. I can see that they're going to talk with me. Or you know what, I want to try it out. I just want to talk. Not to be right. I want to talk. Okay, so in an integrated brain, default mode network is downregulated and the insula is activated because my body, my divine feminine, and I am also divine feminine, remember, and my divine masculine, my mind, and I have divine masculines out there. I got twin flames and I got soulmates. You can better bet I know who they are. All of them, not just some of them. And if there are anybody new, don't worry, you'll find out. We'll keep on adding to our oversoul because we know exactly where we are, why we're where we are, and we don't keep people by a string. Sounds quite reductive, not to mention, really? You think that I think love is hard work? No. No. Love is free. You don't understand. And it's fun. And me having to hold you sounds like a prison to me, or a ball and a chain, which, oh, believe me, I'm not going to be any of that because I don't want a ball and a chain. And I didn't realize that love would be hard for some people. Excuse me, wait, how many? All the teenagers that don't grow? Yes. Okay, so people who are not empowered, they go to women who say, here's how to keep a man. Let him open the door for you, please. And then they go to men who also, I'm going to be disengaging from that, but I can't let it go. I'm so like, I don't even know what to say, that these grown human beings actively have these words to say to people. But then I remember the mules, Maria, they don't drink water. You can't make them. So there's those, what are they called? Nope, not that one. Yes, that one. Silverbacks. They got their silverbacks. And so you see them put them, there's their Venus, the goddess May, the goddess of war, whoever it is that's giving them the reality they want, and you get to watch them prance around like Pinocchio with a wooden body on Stromboli's theater, and they get money. Oh, they can have all the money they want. They're not going to do much with it as they fizzle out in their modulated embodied self. It's not funny, believe me, but they don't hear. There's actively people who learn about the same stuff I do. You know what they do? So we're meant to stay in our sympathetic. And then you see the face of terror of the educated human beings who are using their brain and just heard this, oh my gosh, no, your telomeres are going to be ruined. You're not integrating your brain. Your cholesterol levels are going to go up. And, so then they correct the course and say, okay, no, there's what's called angry Buddhists. It's not because they're Buddhists. They just know how to, right here, you see her, restorative embodiment, self-aware. They know how to self-regulate like a champ, which is why we don't have anger. I learned how to manage my anger when I was beginning to go to college, thinking that people cared about what they did in their job. And then I realized that politicians throw chairs at each other. I was like, wow, that's not a leader in my book. They don't know how to behave. And I've met more than just that also don't know how to behave. So when people have said, I didn't know you cursed, that's vulgar, Maria. No, you don't understand. I curse in my episodes because it gives the of the emotion. And why not? I'm not a woman from the era of where, oh my gosh, let me be. And I'm not my teenage young, where I got taught a lot of properness. And then as I got older, I got shown that nobody actually maintains any of it. One, the first 2 lawyers I met did cocaine. I was like, excuse me, you do law. And that makes people laugh at me, and they use the word naive. I use the word consistency, smart, not naive, thinking, it's fascinating. Where's the police? Oh, you want to give me some conspiracy theories? Sure, keep on adding it up. I'm just thinking trauma again, trauma more 7 to 14 charming, more of those who don't drink the water. They're drinking Kool-Aid. I got plenty of people who like to tell me the same story. They have a name for it. Yes, they use this word called evil. And then they use a lot of other stories from ancient texts. But see, I don't use those stories. I use science when I analyze human beings. And there's a political science dude. I have a opportunity, which if I can get to writing a bunch of books, I'm going to do that. Because he presents this equation about the triune brain. And I have a challenge for that, the way he presented it, because I am an academic in my brain. I just haven't had the time to be able and do the research that I want to do. But I have enough of the attachment trauma information to know exactly where to start. That's how a smart, emotionally and mentally speaking brain works is, they gave me an opportunity. And I still need to read Robert Sapolsky's Determined. I can't wait to read it. But the thing is, I thought it would be more quantitative. Robert, I thank you for your work, but I thought it would be more quantitative. Instead, I realized from the opening statement that it's qualitative mostly. And here's where, again, the ears of a person who's a grown-up, a Jacob, let me finish. So integrated brains, what you will manifest is, according to Daniel Siegel, and Daniel, I'm going to just do a little tweak here. He says kindness and compassion. Now, compassion, because physiologically, you got left and right mode working together, all hands on deck. That default mode network is not working. It's down regulated. Your insula is activated because you got no problemo with your body or your brain or none of that. So I'm just being my whole self. And then what else was it? My ventral vagal state is engaged, which it is right now. And here's why Sadhguru doesn't know how to explain it, but it's not wine, Sadhguru. It's active water, which is why I'm a mule that drinks water. You can take me. I don't need you to take me because I like to do it on my own. Because my mother taught me that if I want to get something done right, because I will have complained about it as any child, I don't want it that way. I want it my way, right? So as a child, I got taught, okay, you got 2 hands, Maria, you got 2 feet. Okay, now, you complained enough. Here, you want it done your way. How does it get done your way? You do it, right? Okay, and here, let me give you some more advice here because I'm not nosy, I'm curious, but some people think I'm nosy. So long story short, she addressed that. Okay, listen. Who minds their own business? Do for you. It's our Italian sayings I'm translating. Who does for themselves, does for 3. Okay, and the donkey thing, yes, the donkey thing I've been told too because I'm stubborn. And I'm like, I'm not stubborn like that. But I get it. Yeah, I am a mule. I'm stubborn. And the Neapolitan city, they have a soccer team. They got the mule as their, the donkey is their symbol, which is why I'm proud about donkeys. Don't get me wrong. I love donkeys. The jackasses from Pinocchio, well, they are boys that go to that island and, well, just go to a pub and let's find out how many are the actual Pinocchios with ears and a tail. We don't want to see any jackasses because that would mean a very unfortunate business. And hopefully they can get good therapy so that we can get them help and so they can get out of that because it's not healthy for their body. Yeah, the drugging, the fucking, the drinking. I mean, I know Hangover is a really cool movie. So see that this is how the person's brain works about all of so many topics. I can keep going. But long story short, this is an integrated brain restored embodiment self. You can get here too. Divine Feminine channeling right now. Akashic Intelligence is awesome. It's beautiful to be here. Oh, and to remind anyone, there's no supervillain, superhero. This is the whole point of what I'm also trying to get at. Yeah, I don't believe in evil. I don't have to believe in it. I don't have to believe in goodness either, the kind part. So Daniel Siegel shares that compassion and integration, or integration made visible, is compassion and kindness. I have words for you, Daniel Siegel. People that walk around with their authentic self are not seen as kind by those who are mules who don't want to drink water. They're seen as woo-woo, pseudoscience, stupid idiots who are naive, who even knows? Some call us evil bitches, evil witches. That's another one. Oh, yes, and if you're solo poly, just add on to that one whore and add on to that, what was it? Masochist. Yes, let's add that one. So I think I gave you a pretty good view of not only who you get to work with if you want, but what it means to be yourself. It's not the words. The words that come out of the mouth of a person, they don't mean anything. The way you walk doesn't mean anything either necessarily. I'm going to watch the way you walk, the way you talk, and then I'm going to watch if you're consistently walking and talking. The minute that you're consistently walking and talking, then I'm going to notice what you are expressing. Then I'm also going to notice the minute that you flinch, which is why I get the, I'm so sorry, Miss Perfect. I know why I get them as perfect. And I said, I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. I was just pointing out something I noticed. I didn't mean to point it out in a way that you thought I was trying to be Miss Perfect. But hey, you know what? I am perfect to myself. So, I mean, how many ways do you want me to say thank you? I don't know. Or should I go now? Can I go now? This is the Energizer battery that never ends. And I'm going to conclude now because my younger sister comes to my brain. As last year she teased in a family setting because she grew up with me. So I was 11 when she was born, and I told her, I'm going to spoil you to the death of you. And she still blames me sometimes for that. And I say, I don't care. You had a mother, you have actually not had, and you have another sister. I decided that I would spoil you because that's what I decided I wanted to do. And that's why we're a herd. See, we complement each other. And that's why I know I have smart masculines who say, okay, you can't do. And actually, FYI, attachment trauma researchers, the ideal parenting style is not that you always go pick up the baby. It's a third attunement and then repairing ruptures. And actually, they explain this, and I say I'm getting serious because this is data. Daniel Siegel's stuff is data too. That one I was just trying to share it with you with a little bit of a fun note. But this one, I believe it's Janina Fisher who was saying how you don't want to always go pick up a child because you want them to be in a little bit of distress so that their nervous system can be in distress because it's like a rubber band. And then you go and pick them up. And that's also fair and square. This is also why they talk about doing activities for any of us who have like the panic attacks or fear. So some people, they push themselves more than others, but it's a personal journey. So for me, and I don't agree with any of that physical brute stuff, but I understand when they're presenting that if you allow yourself to push yourself physically to the max, that you can then overcome aspects that you might be concerned about, which really don't mean anything. I don't find it necessary. I don't want to use my time that way. I'm okay with being uncomfortable in fears. What I'm trying to say, this is the part. But yeah, I don't feel like walking up a mountain, going and almost killing myself on some big, no, I don't want to do it. I don't care what you say. But that's where some people are okay with doing these extreme activities, but you then notice that they don't do anything else. They think that now that they've done it, there's another mule that doesn't drink water. So while I'm aware of the areas that I could overcome potentially, but I'm not in a rush, what I'm aware of is my health and I want to live. So yeah, I don't want to do anything stupid. So I choose to keep in a comfort zone on purpose. It's because my life matters. My physical life. I'm just letting you all know, like, this is the part. Which is why when people are complaining about romance, I'm like, you can find a gazillion more people. If you want a person, you can find a person. Anytime somebody's like, no, I can't. Yes, you can. Apps, be clear, be concise. Don't worry about the serious bullshit, because anybody who's going to want you, they're going to want you or say yes to you. You don't know. Until you try, you don't know. And this is the part of where when you're sure about yourself, that's why they call you Miss Perfect and bossy and a mule. And you say, you know what? Yeah, I am stubborn and I'm going exactly where I want to go. And that's why our soulmates, though, they remind us of things we don't know. And this is a divine feminine who's wanting to close out. It's really fun to have our oversoul. Yep. The soulmates are the ones who surprise us. And the twin flames, they allow us to stand our ground and say, this is who I am. And maybe I didn't make it obvious. Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. Okay, I think I'm getting the picture of how to try. And that's why it's really fun to already know that you know everything. But like I said, the soulmates, they keep us in check. And that's because they surprise us. And as a feminine, I'm talking about masculines. And there is a beauty in complementary emotional and intellectual and physical intelligence people. They're badass, for real. Not the pretend ones. So tune in to our next episode if you'd like. Like, share, and subscribe. And this is how we do it. So yeah, I don't try to make points all the time. I just try to let you get to know me, the information I have. And if you want to do one-to-one, welcome aboard. Minimum 12-month program. I don't do short-term anythings. In fact, I am a person who wants to not only guide you to the well. I'm going to say, okay, the water is here. I will point it out to you because I'm not going to waste any of our time. And here's the part of where Akashic intelligence. I'm going to do it in Akashic Intelligence. So if you want, you can tune back into the next episode. And if not, thank you for stopping by again.